Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very special show where we're going to be talking all about welcoming more abundance into our lives. I'm Julie from Maison Gipta, and I'm here with my soul sister, the amazing Elena. How are you, Elena?
Good. Thank you so much. Nice to see you, Julie. Nice to see everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm doing very good. Honestly, today, I don't know. I feel you let me know what's going on with the energy, but I feel like there's a switch. We can feel like a positive energy. So, and how are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think well, first of all, one of the reasons why I think you're feeling that shift is that Mercury just went direct yesterday. So I think we can finally start feeling like the energies are moving forward. And plus, we have a beautiful conjunction between Mercury and the North Node. So the North Node is all about pushing things forward um, with our towards our destined future. So I feel like this is one of the most positive things that just happened since yesterday that you might have felt
Mm-hmm.
like removing blockages, delays, communication issues. And I think we're also very much feeling the Uranus Jupiter conjunction, which we're going to talk about a little bit in the show today, because we're going to have a beautiful new moon in Taurus next week that's going to activate even more the conjunction that happened. And this conjunction really talks about abundance. And also the new moon in Taurus, which also we're going to touch upon today. So I feel like the topic of abundance is very much coming into our lives. I did the video, I'm going to show you guys here on Taurus season. If you haven't watched, it's right here. And also, we did the May prediction with Sophie, which the theme of abundance, prosperity, money, finances, and opportunities kept coming for all of the 12 signs. So this is a must watch if you haven't watched already. But also the Taurus season video, I talk about like how Taurus is one of the financial signs in astrology is so much connected to worth, to self-worth, to value, to what we value in life, and to money. And well, of course, all kinds of resources, not just money, but I feel like it's all connected with the subject that we're going to talk about today. Elena, first of all, have you noticed that the theme of money, resources, value, self-worth is sort of coming up even more these days?
Absolutely. Because of the energy as well. And I feel like everybody want to be like more abundant. Doesn't matter if it's for the health, doesn't matter the money, prosperity, everything, the love. So everybody want to find balance in their lives, want to be able to be abundant on any aspect. And to find the how, I feel like right now that we've gone through so many changes in our lives, we're ready to do really the work together. And it's the right timing with the energy of the Taurus as well. As you know, it's been able to see the beauty, been able to feel um, when let's say enjoy good things in life, connect with nature, take more the time, be more at peace. That's how I feel because you know we have been feeling the strong energy of the full moon, which it has been very strong, and since like March 25th, I think, when
Yeah,
we had that
the eclipse.
activation with the eclipse directly into Dominican Republic. I feel, yes, it was an intense energy, but we did so much work and we're ready to receive all the abundance that we need.
Ah, I love this message, and I was getting exactly the very same message that, and especially people from this community. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. And I feel like we've hopped on this journey of inner transformation, inner healing, shadow work, and we've done so much transformation. And I'm gonna talk for us in behalf of all the group because I know and I read your comments and I know also about my own experience. Like it has been rough for most of us. Let's not kid ourselves. But I feel like especially May and moving onwards after May, I feel like there's a lot of beautiful energies in the astrology. I feel it in the energy. I feel like a big reversal. And it's interesting what you just said, Elena, about like doing lots of healing. But I feel like now the period of time that we're moving into is that embodiment of spirituality. And spirituality is not always doing healing and like shadow work and be like, oh my God,
Mhm.
like my ego's dying. It's not always like being in those heavy energies that we just, let's say, moved from with the Scorpio eclipse and everything and the full moon that we just had. It's about also enjoying this earthly incarnation,
Mhm.
enjoying this physical body, enjoying the pleasures of life, which is all Taurus. So
Right.
I feel like it's so connected. And yes, being able to be abundant um, in all the spheres of your life, I feel like is so important to be able to enjoy this earthly existence while we're all moving on different star seeds mission, all different life missions to help the collective. We must enjoy our own incarnation. If you are not embodied, if you are not enjoying what the earth and the 3D has to offer, I feel like this is not going to work because you're supposed to shine your light. So let me know if that makes sense. And I want to say hi to everybody, and I want to put a few comments on the screen. So thank you, Tim. He's
Thank
saying, please give these lovely ladies an abundance of likes, and share, subscribe, and tell all your friends too. Thank you, Tim. Um, so I think it reminds me that like the word I love to use the word abundance, and I know a few people have been like, oh, abundance can be also negative things, but in the way that I signify it when I say it, for me it's like a plethora, an abundance of beautiful things, and
you.
that can be anything. So
You're,
uh
you're absolutely right. And also talking about abundance, it's not about like a quantity. We also want quality. Like I know, like this community, I feel like uh, is quality. This is the
yeah,
feeling that I
definitely.
have, and it's just gonna grow. Like it's growing slowly, but with quality. We can feel the energy, and doing this together, it make it so much easier and strong. Hi, Samantha.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to say hi, Samantha. Hi, Shauna. Hi to Jenny. Greetings to you. Yay, Mercury Direct. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Hi, Judith. Nice to see you. Hi, I'm going to try to say hi to a few people that are here.
And it's good that you're doing that, because doing that, it's like you're moving also the energy, and being grateful, it's part of the abundance as well. So the message that we're
Yes.
getting from you, the community, it's very amazing. And that's why we always say thank you. We're very grateful, because that's an exchange of energy. We are talking, but you guys, by liking, by sharing, by commenting, it's like an exchange of energy, and this is abundance, quality abundance.
I love that message because I forgot to write it on my notes, but this is so important. As you said, Elena, I think you're right on point. Like being grateful
Mhm.
for the abundance that you receive helps the energy circulate and create even more of the good things you want to manifest in your life. So I feel like this message was for sure channeled, and I think it is so relevant to our conversation. For me, also, and yes, we're going to talk about abundance in general, but we're going to talk about money. So for people having triggers around money, uh, this show might be for you. And we will try to be as transparent and as, let's say, open as we can about the subject, because I know it is a triggering subject, especially in the spiritual community.
Mhm.
And money is an energy. And it's interesting what you just said about that we have to make it circulate even more. And we need to remove the connotation of money being bad, money being used for bad purposes, money being linked to corruption, because we're here to create the new world. So we're here to show other people how money can be a positive vector of change and how you can circulate it in the new system and support, let's say, small businesses, people that you believe in. You can
Mhm.
help your family, you can help your friend, you can do so much good stuff with money with the right intentions. So I feel like it's all about making the energy circulate, being grateful for what you have, and
Don't be afraid. Like even if you have a lot of, like let's say you have a lot of money, for you to be able to give money, and it's the how you give the money. So whenever you are giving money to someone, even if you're paying for something, let's say a cocktail or mocktail, that person is making so much love doing this cocktail, and by you giving that money, that's an exchange of energy. So think about whenever you're giving something to someone, like you're giving the money, while being grateful, it is also important. Like don't take this for granted, everything that you're doing. And even I know you said like people that have some fears about the money, but also on the other side, sometimes it's like when you have too much, some other people, let's say they have so much money, but they don't know how to manage the money as well. So at one point in their life, um, they won't have any more money. So that's a very good point, that we need to be able to balance the abundance, the energy of the money as well. So yeah.
definitely, really good point. Yeah, we will be talking about all of that. We have a list of things. So, first of all, we want to talk about what is abundance. Then we're going to move into a bit of astrology for all the Taurus energy that we have, which is so much on point. And then we're going to be talking about the blocks, and especially for this spiritual community and all the work that we can do to help receive, because there are so many opportunities to receive goodness and abundance and prosperity in the month of May and
Mhm.
onwards, of course. But the month of May for me is very, very positive, one of the most positive of the whole year. So I feel like it's so important that we have discussions about the willingness to receive. And I love this comment, PJ. How much are you willing to receive? So that will be the main question for today's show. And I noticed that as much as we try to manifest, let's say, success, money, love, any kind of let's say goodness that you'd like to attract in your life. We talk a lot about manifestation in the spiritual community. But the other thing that I feel like we don't talk as much, and we should, is after doing the manifestation process and let's say listing what you'd like to receive, are you truly willing to receive that in your life with your energetic field? Are you open? Are you do you feel like you're worthy enough deep down inside to receive that goodness? So that's the true question. And I can say upfront that I thought I was, let's say, before I started my business, but I wasn't really ready to receive abundance back then and success. So I did a lot of work. And of course, like when you are looking for your own path, it's definitely a big work of working also on your self worth, your self confidence, while you're trying to find yourself amidst of everything. But I'm constantly working day to day to be open to receive more, because and I feel like a lot of people from this community are givers, and I know you are, Elena. Definitely, you're
Yeah.
so generous with your energy, and a lot of people
Also
are.
with the money, like if I receive money, I love to share. Um, doesn't matter the amount. Let's say if it's $100, I love to share with people around me, because looking at people that I love enjoying, for me, there's so much value on that. But that also, like, to be careful with the people that you're surrounded with. What's the energy that they're giving you? Also, if they have blockages with their money, it might affect you as well. So that also, we need to work on that.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like a lot of people in the spiritual community are so generous, of their money, their time, their energy, their love. Um, and it's really a learning lesson to be open to receiving as much as you're giving to other people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like when I did my reading with Solreta, I think it was 2 weeks ago, or a month ago, and she said like you're still learning how to receive and to be like, yes, I deserve it, it's okay. And just like a really short example, like today, I just well, this week I just met my neighbors, which I haven't really gone out of my new house, so I haven't really met anybody. But I'm surrounded by farmers, which is very Taurus. So all the Taurus teams seems to be coming in my life right now. So it's really, really cool. And my new neighbor, introduced himself, one of the farmers, and he said, "Oh, you have branches on your front lawn. So would you like me to help you remove those?" And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, well, yeah, thank you so much. And deep down inside, I was like really grateful for his help. But at the same time, I was like, I felt like I needed to do something to give back. And I was like, no, he's just offering his help. And with people that live in the country and are like not in cities, it's very, uh, let's say it happens really often that they propose their help without any waiting for any kind of reward or like a return
Exchange.
exchange. They're just like, it's just like that. They're all helping each other. So I was just like, wow. And then I was like, no, you don't need to give something to him. You just need to be grateful. So that's the message I had today. And
Yeah.
he went, like, he did a little work on my, land. Well, not land, but that's not the word I wanted.
Your
Uh,
house, your property.
yeah, around the property. Thanks.
Yeah.
And I was just like, thank you so much. And we had like a really good eye contact, and I could feel like he got my thank you and like he was happy. So I'm like, the gratefulness message I think really applies here.
But also, he was able to feel your good energy. That's also something that you're giving to him as well. So,
Yeah,
in a way, you're exchanging something. And if ever he's helping you to do that, somebody else will help him in another way. So, it
right.
doesn't matter if you're giving abundance to someone helping the other person, it's not going to come from the same person. So, it's like always, how would you say that? It's like,
A cycle and exchange, a loop. I don't know how to say that.
what's a card in the tarot that it's I have Route Fortune in my
The
hand.
wheel of
The
fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. Oh, so yeah, I feel like that's the energy
It
that.
always spins. It circulates.
Mhm.
Yeah, beautiful. And yeah, Jazz Lyons is saying the goal is to accept, to receive. Yes, and that's what we're gonna be working on. And yes, Tim is saying Elena shares her magical love in her candles, and I feel it. Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you. And
It's
it's funny that you talk about to receive. I'm gonna give my mom an example. Hi, mom, if you're listening. Uh, she doesn't understand English, but I'm gonna tell her tonight that I spoke about her. My mom is very generous.
Mm,
Like my parents, they don't have a lot of money. They are hard workers, and my mom, whenever she have like a bit of money, she needs to buy gifts to some, like to everybody, like she remembers all the date of birth, but it's like for her to receive, whenever she receives something, she's shy, she don't want to receive it. So that's a blockage as well. So that's, you need to ask your question, like if you're giving also, if you're giving the money, if you're giving something, you need to be able to open that energy that you have. And where's the blockage inside your soul that you need to unlock?
oh, yes. And we do have a lot of blockages, and we're going to talk about those. Right before we talk about a little bit of the astrology, Elena, um,
Mhm.
can you define for you what the word abundance means? What can it define for you?
Abundance for me is balance, happiness, be open, being able to receive, being able to give, being grateful as well, being in good health, being aware of what's around you. Um, let's say just enjoying also small things in life, like let's say enjoying your plants that are around you, being grateful for that because that's an energy that it's circulating in your house, and by you receiving those type of energy, it's going to give you abundance. In regards to the money as well, whenever, let's say for example, you guys are purchasing the candles, I'm grateful for that because yes, you guys are helping me, but you can see the value and you can see my work. So not only see the product, but really see, and like I'm not talking about, like let's say this crystal, not only see the product, but see what's inside, what this crystal is offering you. So really being able to feel and see deep down what the what this product is giving you, what type of abundance you're receiving.
So the energy behind the product, what energy was infused in the
Mhm.
preparation of what you're purchasing also?
Yeah, the product, the person as well, the energy that you're receiving, also.
The business you're dealing with, the values of the business that produces the products.
Yeah.
That's all very Taurian in nature, what we're talking about. So, and I love how you answered the question about what's abundant to you because you listed your priorities, where you want to invest your, what's the most important for you, what you'd like to manifest in your own life. And I feel like Taurus's energy is exactly that. It is prioritizing what has value for you specifically. So
Mhm.
for everybody that we could ask this question, it could be they could have a different answer. So for some people, abundance, they're going to answer in first, oh, for me, it's love. For me, it's health.
Mhm.
For me, it's having fulfilling relationships and having support from others. For some other people, it's going to be, oh, abundance for me is money, is having food on the table, is having a roof over my head, is having not lacking anything material, having everything that we need. From other people, it's going to be finding purpose, finding spiritual connection with other people, connecting with the earth. So abundance is a very wide topic, and I
Mhm.
encourage everybody to really think about what for you does it mean, like what do you prioritize in your list of good stuff that you want
Yeah,
to manifest.
you're right. And also like also to think about every details, everything that, let's say we go for dinner and somebody is telling you, okay, I'm paying the bill. Yes, you're grateful for that person and you're going to say thank you, but it's not only about paying the bill, it's about having a great time with this person. So
Yeah,
that's one of the main purpose. This is a type of abundance because the time,
time.
yeah, time.
Definitely. That's a big one here. For me, like, and I know have we a lot of discussions with you, Elena, about like how time is so valuable, like with who you choose to invest your time. That for me, it's like one of the most precious things, precious resources.
Yeah.
And I know I've been reviewing a lot about where I invest my time, especially in the last 2 3 years. I would say I cut back a lot on the media I was watching. I really tried to invest it where it would make a difference in my life, where I would learn something or a kind of entertainment that would add value to my life instead of
Yeah.
giving me like more drama or and same with the people around me. Like I really chose to invest it in people that I felt had like we had a good energetic exchange and I wasn't feeling depleted of my energy. So uh
But
okay,
by doing that, it's a big work because you never know like how people will react as well. Because the more you think about yourself, how can you bring abundance to yourself? Of course, there's going to be switch. Of course, let's say if you're going to a path, even if you see the light, it's not a straight line. So even with the abundance, this is how it's what is happening as well.
definitely, definitely. So I think like one of the first steps is identifying like where you have energy drains in your life, where you invest your energy, and is it in line that investment of your time, money, energy, love isn't in line with where you want to be, what you want to receive in your life. So that's, I feel like it's one of the biggest lesson when you start your well, not start, because when you're on the journey of spiritual awakening, it's a long journey, and I feel like it's one of the biggest lessons is to really manage those resources. And it's not true that you can just give out your energy and your love and your money and your time to just anything and anybody and feel great, because you have to have boundaries for yourself. So you will need to prioritize. Your time is not infinite, your energy is not infinite. So you will have to choose where
Yeah.
it matters for you. So I think like it's one of the biggest lessons of being a spiritual embodied soul.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I
and
want to say, talking about the abundance, we just had like starting when we started the eclipse and we finished now the Mercury retrograde. I feel like we did an abundance of healings. It was intense, but that's something that it's like you needed time to heal, maybe because something happened before, you know? So, like you said, it is important to like take your time and really take care of like yourself.
definitely. And Tim is saying, if you haven't been grateful with the like for these ladies, thank you, Tim. And yes, if you do enjoy this content, please give us a like. It really helps the energy circulate of abundance, and we really appreciate your support.
Thank you for the comment as well. We can see them.
Yeah, we love talking with you. Okay, I want to ask a few personal questions if you don't mind, Elena.
No, good.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to know why do you think we have so much difficulty, and especially this, let's say, spiritual community? Why do you think we have so much difficulty welcoming abundance and receiving in general in life?
Well, I think it's because of fear. That's the number one point. Fear for coming from our past lives, fears coming from any karmic energy, fears coming from your family, from the ancestors, fear that are not yours. So all the fears that you're getting, I feel like you need to ask yourself, is it really coming from you? So,
Yeah,
and like the way we have been taught, like at school, you need to do this and this and this and that. But here in the community, because of we are awake, we are able to see what is good for us. So our values, and we can feel that something is going, it's not going well. And when, let's say, you have fear, your system nervous is like talking to you. So being awake, you can feel it even more. So that's, you need to be aware, and but you need to be able to do the healing as well. But the how, it's another question, because you need to have the tools to do it as well.
definitely. That's a good answer. And I want to say also thank you to PJ for that loving abundance.
Thank you.
I am all that I am. Outrageously blessed beyond my wildest expectations. Wow. Thank you so much, PJ, for your support. We really appreciate it. I think it's a beautiful mantra to stay in the present and to be grateful for everything we have. And thank you so much. It's beautiful. Yeah, so we will talk about some blocks a little bit in just a few minutes. Um, okay, and before I talk about astrology, last question to you, Elena.
Mm-hmm.
You personally, what did you do that helped you to open up to receiving, either receiving help, receiving money, receiving love? In your own personal experience, what has helped you?
By helping others. Um, but sometimes the problem is, by helping others, you forget about yourself. So that's what
Mhm.
happened to me. So I was giving so much that, yes, I was receiving, but at the same time, you're losing control of yourself, and you need to find your identity. And then after, when I was able to find myself, I was able to receive the abundance, but being able to balance that energy, That's also something that happened to me, and it's a process. Like it's always a process. So that's how I learned how to get the abundance and been grateful as well to receive that energy. I feel like it's something that it's just natural for me, and but my only not fear, but I would say it's the when to stop.
Because I was going to say, because I asked a question about receiving and you were talking about giving. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, and I think it's the case for most people here. Do you think you subconsciously you thought you were worthy only because you were giving to other people? And that gave you like the agreement to be okay to receive because you were like, oh, I give, like I help so much people that I'm worthy now of receiving. Do you
You're
think like,
right.
yeah.
You're absolutely right because, let's say when I started my own business with the candles, I remember you said to me, but what is it that you really want? So that's a process. And now when you start to think about, okay, what is it that I really want? And you need to go deep, and it's hard, and you question yourself a lot. I did question myself a lot because you know that I quit my 9 to 5 job. I quit everything for me to be able to go on the right path. And that was a hard decision. But whenever you're able to feel yourself, you're able to put yourself a priority and being able to give to yourself, that's the first thing you need to do. And then you're ready to give to others.
Yeah.
So this is something that I was not doing very well.
Well, we're all on the on the path of learning about ourselves, right? For me, it's kind of similar, but in a different way. For me, it was I felt worthy to receive if I worked really hard at something.
Mm.
So for me, it's like, oh yeah, I deserve, let's say, this amount of money, of salary or sales because I worked so hard at it. I had no life for, let's say, this amount of time. So now I'm worthy of receiving. But the irony there is that we are worthy of receiving without ever doing anything
Yeah.
because we're divine beings.
Mhm.
And we're if you take everything away from the 3D and the social status and everything that you think you need to do to be able to be worthy of receiving, we are at a natural state worthy of receiving anything we want. So this is kind of what I'm trying to to understand. Like I do understand it mentally, but with my, let's say, energy, with my subconscious, I'm trying to change the mantras. And every time I hear someone talk, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to rephrase some stuff. So
I I feel like for you, it's the guilt.
Mhm.
This is the work that you need to do. It's really the guilt, and don't
Yeah,
feel guilty that you're not working today because you're
yeah,
actually doing something. You're taking care of yourself. You're just looking outside,
yeah.
enjoying the sun, going for a walk. So you're doing something for yourself.
Definitely. And I think like a lot of Virgos are going to resonate with that. Definitely. And it's also like the masculine energy to be in that do mentality. And when you're in there, it's great because you can see results of your actions and you can have like rewards of all the hard work you put in. What's That's the great part about it. But the other part is like once you want to relax, then you feel the guilt of not being in the do in the production mode. So I think I'm doing a lot better though,
Yeah.
like especially since the new direction of Maison Jupiter. I think I'm trying to find a new balance. And
I know
I
when, sorry, I know when you had like the big switch. It's like in last a year ago in May, when we were very exhausted. We were working a lot, and then we went to do the 10 day of healing in Dominican Republic. We were like, it doesn't make sense. Being able, like, we're giving so much for the community. We're working a lot, but at the same time, it's like we were not able to balance our lives. So
Definitely. And I remember exactly in May, we were talking to my British friend Connie, both
yeah.
of us, about, and she knows we work in spirituality. And we were talking like how burned out we were, like both of us. And I remember her saying from an outside eye, she said, aren't you like people and preaching about these things about like, balance, having uh, let's say giving love to yourself,
Mhm.
not overworking yourself for others, like finding that balance. And French, it's like cordonnier mal chaussé. I don't know how to translate that, but it's like what you preach, you don't even do it for yourself. And I was like, that's a fair point here.
Yeah. But at least we were like aware, and that's a good thing. Like once you're aware and you're
Yeah,
ready to do the work, you're ready to do the changes, that's perfect. It doesn't matter the time that it will take, because it's not automatically we came back from the our healing retreat and okay, we're balanced. No, it took time. But just to have it here, to do the work, to do meditation, to do like everything that you need to do, it's a process.
definitely. And there's a lot of beautiful comments that I want to put. Stella is saying, Great reminder to give freely of your time. Thank you. Thank you." And Tim is saying, you nailed it, Julie. That's the feeling. Yes, I know a lot of people are experiencing the guilt. And it's also, I feel like it's also balancing of the masculine and the feminine energy. With masculine is the do, the vector of action, and whereas the feminine energy is the receiving part. So it's within everybody, we should be able to have both and feel comfortable in both, depending on the situation. If it's the weekend and you want to recharge, then it's okay to be in a receiving state, and it's okay to be in a receiving state anytime you'd like, right?
Yeah.
And I want to, and Jody B is saying, I think we learned when friends help us to see if we are receiving without having to give. Yes, definitely, Jody. I love this one. And I feel like with friends, it's easier because you already have this like circulation of energy. So I feel like it's a really good exercise to be able to receive.
Yeah. And friends also that are open as well. Like, let's say, for example, you, Julie, when you're saying something to me, you're giving me, like, you're saying something to me and you're giving me this type of energy, but you know that I'm ready to receive. Not everybody is ready to receive. When I'm, let's say, for example, I'm telling you something, you're ready to receive as well. So
Mhm.
that's an energy that it's important as well. People that are surrounding you.
Definitely, definitely. And there's already a beautiful exchange of energy. So I feel like it's an easier way to start building on the energy, the flow, the circulation of energy, receiving, giving.
Mhm.
Tim, thank you so much. He says, just signed for the May 7 abundance activation. It's available on the website now. Thank you so much. So, yes, I was preparing to talk about it later on, but since you brought it up, Tim, yes, we will be launching an activation. But before we do so, I'm going to talk about the astrology here. We're going to talk about a lot of blocks here, a lot of work you can do before signing up for the activation. But of course, if you'd like to go a step further, we're going to do a lot of removing of those blocks of spiritual work there. That's going to be also correlating with the new moon in Taurus, because that's when the portal of energy of receiving goodness, abundance into our lives is opening even more and activating the Jupiter Uranus conjunction even more. So I'll get back to that in just a few minutes. But before, I wanted to talk about the new moon. That's going to be the day of the activation that we're going to do. So the new moon is on May 7. It's a Taurus new moon at 18 degree. So look up where 18 degree of Taurus falls in your own birth chart. You're going to know what house is going to be activated and where you have a totally new opportunity to create abundance in your own life. And of course, as we said, abundance can take many forms. So also be open to receiving in what way the universe is wanting to show this abundance in your lives. But because it is such a special and magical portal, I feel like we need to be ready in receiving those blessings. Uh, yes, the missing slide. Yes. Um, so a new cycle begins with money, finances, and love. And why did I write that? Because Venus is going to be conjunct the new moon. Venus, the ruler of Taurus. So bringing all this beautiful material goodness and also fulfilling relationships. So Venus is romance, love, relationships. It's also beauty. It's also art. It's also money, prosperity. So for a lot of people, it can be also a new revenue stream in your life, a new way to earn more financial abundance. For other people, it's going to be more relationship based. But we're all going to feel this need to, I feel like, bring down this energy from the crown chakra and really start to enjoy being in a physical body and wanting to really enjoy this life. And especially because we're coming from like such a hardcore transformation period with the eclipses,
Yeah.
the scorpionic energy, the Pluto moving in a new sign. So it ushered so much dense transformation that now I feel like being spiritual right now is taking this energy into our bodies and really making the most out of it to shine our lights through the spiritual and the earthly experience. So that being said, there will be for sure lots of new financial opportunities. I said new revenue stream. For a lot of people, it's going to be also taking the forms of new jobs, and depending on your sign. So if you want to see exactly where it falls, what it's going to be activating, you can look up this video on our YouTube channel or Rumble channel on the Maison Jupiter channel, and you're going to find, where is it? Of course, when I look for a video, I never find it. Okay, it's right here. It's the May prediction for 12 zodiac signs. We talk about exactly for your sign what's going to be activated. So let me go back there. So depending, for a lot of people, it's going to be new jobs. For a lot of people, it's going to be a new passion, a new way to receive. But Venus is a very receptive planet. So this is why all the blocks that we're having, the limiting belief, needs to go before this new moon or at the same time. But definitely there's a work to be done.
But I feel like we did a lot of work already, like to receive the energy of this new moon as well.
Yeah, because if you did the other activation on the eclipse that we did for the Scorpio, was it the Scorpio eclipse? Libra eclipse, sorry.
Libra, yeah.
Scorpio, but we were opening up the sacral chakra and the heart chakra. And man, we have been really sick. We have been purging a lot of those two chakras, the coughing, here, anyways, I won't get into details, but we have been purging a lot for those two chakras. And those two chakras are the very same chakras that are responsible for receiving in our life. So the sacral is all about receiving pleasure, receiving abundance, and the heart is about giving, but as well receiving. So we're all in this process, as you said, Elena, that we've done a lot of work already. But also I feel like it's good to continue because I feel like it's a good, let's say, ongoing process of opening up to receive even more. And this new moon is going to activate the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that we had on April 20th. So I know I've been talking about this conjunction so much because it's probably the most important astrological event of 2024. It's kind of, but it's not only one day, it's going to be all year. It's going to open up new opportunities to feel more free, to feel like there's a revolution in somewhere in our lives, to become more abundant. So this is really the main event here, but this new moon is activating this conjunction. So if you haven't really felt yet what this conjunction brought into your life, I feel like it's going to be around this new moon. and we better be ready because there's a lot of goodness coming in.
But I
Yeah,
feel so positive. I feel like the energy, like I said, like at the beginning of the show, there's a switch in here, and we need to take that opportunity to be able to receive the abundance by doing the work.
definitely, definitely. And yeah, I want to get into the major blocks here. What do you see maybe in people in general, Elena? How do you feel? Like, what do you think are the most important blocks regarding receiving abundance? And now maybe we can talk more about receiving money specifically.
Well, the blockages that I see mainly, it's to receive from other person. Like the just able the people are just like doing what they need to do. Like let's say they're working, they're taking care of the kids, they taking care of the house. But for you to not, if you're not stopping, you're not able to receive that abundance. You're not able to see what's around you. But so that's a big blockage that you're having because you're not working inside of you.
So you're like stuck in this hamster wheel of routine, of
Yeah,
3D stuff, and not allowing yourself to step out of this, let's say, of the matrix, basically, to be
exactly.
able to create new, bigger opportunities for
Y-
yourself.
Yeah, and you're happy with what you have.
Mm. Or you think you are.
Exactly. So that's why you're like, I was gonna say something in French. It's like you're like you're comfortable in your
In your old slippers.
exactly.
Yeah.
So so it's gonna shake your nervous system to go deep and see what are really the fears. And like I said before, are they your fears? Is it from your family? Um, when you grow up, what was the patterns in your family? What was in your childhood? What was it exactly like that you were doing? What your mother, your father was doing? It's something that it's in you, but it's maybe not for you. So that
Right.
is something that it's blocking you from this life. We can go through the past life as well, but I feel like this life there's a work that we need to do.
So, also, what I hear from your answer is also the lack of willingness to do the inner work, to
Mhm.
be in constant distraction, because also routine can be a distraction if you,
Yeah.
let's say, if you do it unconsciously, because you can do it consciously and it can be a beautiful thing. But if you're like in that work slave mentality where you allow the system to define your value without even doing it consciously, that can be also a way that you undervalue yourself in regards to finances. So that's also something that we see amongst also people that are not on the spiritual journey. I feel, if you do
Yeah.
agree with that, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
Definitely. And instead of like if you're tired, so what people do when they're tired, I'm just gonna go to bed. Wow, there's more than just go to bed. You need to figure out the why you're tired. What is how are you investing your time? Like there's a lack right there. If you're always tired, well, I'm not telling you to quit your job, but it's like where are you missing the opportunity to get that abundance? Because if you're in the constant you're I don't know why I have to say 9 to 5. I feel
Yeah,
like energy it's
in the
blocked.
hamster wheel, in the 3D routine,
Yeah.
and you're not being conscious of being enslaved in that matrix or in that system,
Hmm.
you have a huge energetic drain. So that's
Yeah.
for sure.
And I feel like a lot of people, when they're doing like, they're working for someone, they're like, oh, there's so many work to do. But remember, it is not yours. Um, you can be exchanged. Uh, so if
Yeah.
you have like day off, Well, maybe it's the time to take it because you're like, oh no, there's so much work. I need to work. Well, your body is talking to you and you need time off. So the problem is mostly of the time we wait until there's a burnout, until we we're going too far. So then you don't need one day off. You need a week off. You need a month off. So we want to be able to not go there.
Yeah, definitely. But that's, I feel like the underlying issue of this whole situation that you're portraying is you're not listening to your soul. You're not listening to what your soul truly wants, and you're out of alignment with what you should be doing. And you have a lot of energetic drains because
Yeah.
if you don't have, at the end of the day, you don't have the energy to do stuff that really holds value for you, then you're not living in alignment. Because
Mm.
life is not being a slave. Life should be also having the time to do stuff that you really want to do, like spending time with quality relationships. Um, let's say enjoying, wanting, being able to travel or do anything that holds value for you.
Yeah.
So that's a really good point. And Rodney here is saying, what explains being detached from material possessions? Well, in my astrologic brain, I'm thinking right away of signs like Sagittarius that are very much activated. Pisces don't really care about money. So if you have a lot of, let's say, I'm thinking of those two mainly, Sagittarius and Pisces are not attached to material possessions because they're more attached to, like, the Pisces is more like the other sides, the dreamy side of life, the unseen world, having psychic experiences, spirituality, and Sagittarius wants to go beyond the 3D realm. So if you have a lot of those signs, then you probably also had also past lives where you had like spiritual roles, especially if you have, let's say, South Node and Sag, and I do, so I know what I'm talking about. And so that means that you have been, let's say, rising above the material realm in past lifetimes, and you have been thinking about more, let's say, larger questions, spiritual questions, religious questions. So you're not really attached. You don't really give value to that. But that can be a problem in itself because it's part also of being an embodied soul in this journey, in this earthly journey. So for me, having like a stellium, a lot of planets with my South Node in Sagittarius, I honestly didn't give a flying F about money in this lifetime. But that was a problem because I had to learn how to manage my resources. So when you don't know how to manage it and you just spend or you just really don't care, then you have an energetic drain somewhere. So it's like it's the same as investing your energy in the wrong place. So I feel like most of us need to learn how to manage resources, including money, and especially if you are spiritual and you have had
Yeah.
spiritual incarnations. Does that make sense to you, Elena?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like right now, before life wasn't that expensive. Right now, life is really expensive to go and do groceries, anything. You're breathing and you're spending money. You know what I mean? So right now, it's like we need to do it. We need to work on our abundance, and it's a good thing because we're gonna enjoy life even more. You're gonna be able, and I'm not saying to spend on like things that are like luxurious or something, but just being able to afford. To buy like fruits because fruit are so expensive right now as well. You want to buy quality food, it is so expensive. So you don't want to worry about like being able for you to eat something very good for yourself because you don't have enough money, you're going to purchase that fruit that it's not healthy, but at the same time everything that you're eating you're putting inside your body and it has an impact. Why? Because you're lacking in abundance.
Definitely. That's a really good point here. Uh, Tim is saying South Node and Sag here to Julia. I thought martial arts for free for years. Wow. Yeah. So as much as it can be perceived as being really generous and really great spiritually speaking. It is creating an energetic imbalance if you are offering something for free. And I know because I've been undervaluing my work for so long, and I had to like really consciously watch a lot of videos of people talking about how it's okay to charge for things, and especially if you are doing spiritual or any kind of work where, let's say, your work ethic, your spiritual ethic is very concerned.
Yeah.
You are giving value to the world, so yes, you shall receive also, and especially if you are making a living out of it.
And I
And
feel like about what you're saying, sorry, it's like you were giving a lot, but I mean, people sometimes they take so much for granted. They're like, let's say if you were like, I remember you were working, doing things and doing like logos, things like that before. But I mean, people, they're just gonna say, oh yeah, I know Julie, she's gonna do it. But well, she's actually leaving. Like you're making money with that. So why would you give it for free? Of course, that's okay, close friends, but people, they take it for granted.
yeah,
Is this person really valuing your work? That's a question to ask.
yeah, and I feel like, and it could be applied to any kind of work there.
Mhm.
And I know like a lot of people also, when they transition from being amateur tarot readers into professional tarot readers, like all your friends want tarot readings. And also at some point I had to really put up my boundaries and be like, now it's when at the very beginning of Maison Jupiter, I used to read cards for people. And I was like, I had to really put strong boundaries about like, this is how now I'm making a living.
Mhm.
So if you'd like to book with me, yes, you're more than welcome to do so. But I won't be offering free readings from now on. And
Yeah.
of course, I did with my friends. But
And be
yeah,
able to say no as well. You have the guilt. Like even me, it happens sometimes. It's like you need to protect yourself. Let's say if I'm doing an activation, a meditation, I know that there's a certain amount of energy that I can offer in terms of healing. So let's say if someone asks me, a close friend, or oh, would you be willing to like to help me to heal on something? Well, I will, but not like immediately. So you really need to take care of like the when, the how, and yeah, to balance everything.
yeah, and as we said earlier, it's all about taking part of this big circulation of money and of energy. So if you're willing to take part of it and you understand as money being a tool, an energy that flows, and it's interesting, okay, because I pulled cards this week and I was like, okay, what does the universe wants us to work on, like what new projects, or last week, maybe it was last week, and I had the card inflow with money.
Wow.
Not lying. And then I looked at the astrology of May with all the Taurus energy and all the money topics that kept coming up. I understood that it was because there are so many opportunities to open up new cycles of receiving abundance in a whole different way. And I love how the wording here of the card, how it's said, it's not, it's in flow. So it reminds us that it's an energy that circulates and we need to be in the flow with money.
Yeah.
So
And I
what,
feel like we need to be um, when we're activating our inner child, like the curiosity as well. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to ask question. Asking about like right now, I'm just gonna like not asking the income, but asking, okay, so how does it work, or like how do you make money? And like if you see someone that is doing a great job, like a person that is so successful, don't be afraid to ask. Like if you feel like the flow is going with the conversation, ask question, because people when they work and they're doing something and they do it like well, they are proud to talk about what they do, like, and no one will steal something, because let's say it doesn't matter what you're doing, you want the energy of that person, so maybe another person is doing the same work but you don't want that energy. So ask the question, be curious. It's
Yeah.
going to help you to open even more.
And I love the fact that you brought up curiosity, because Kathy here is saying, yes, I have Sag and South Node and still have a low income struggling with money. And yes, that's going to be common for a lot of people with Sag, because it's just that, and I'm going to include myself, we don't really care because we see it from a higher vantage point. Like, you're more spiritual in your approach to life of your incarnation. And the opposite of having a South Node, for example, in Sag, like Kathy and I, is having the North Node in Gemini. And Gemini is all about curiosity. It's all about learning about the things that we're not really good at necessarily to begin with. And for me, it was money. I was really bad at it at first because I just didn't care. I cared about relationships. I cared about love. I cared about experience, like gaining true experience. So I traveled a lot. When I was young, I had like 4 jobs at the same time while going to school. So I was making a good amount of money because I was staying at my mom's back then. But like, all I did with my money was travel, and she was super mad at me at the time because she was like, "You're spending so much money." But for me, it was traveling held more value than anything else. So it's very Sagittarius in nature, but the opposite, what you're striving to do in this lifetime, Gemini, is learning, being curious, being open-minded, learning in practical ways, how you can be better with that. So you can listen to workshop, podcast, anything that's going to help you manage resources is going to be great with Gemini.
Wow, I feel like we can have like a long discussion about
Very
it.
long one. And you know what? It's great because we're going to have this activation. So this is going to be the activation on the day of the new moon in Taurus. We have been guided to put up this activation. I'm going to pull cards right after because I'm very curious to see what's the big reason our guides wanting to talk about that and prepare us to receive abundance, because I feel like we're entering in a brand new cycle. And everybody listening to this video, are the people opening up this new way of transacting with money, of let's say creating the new world in a whole new way. So we're going to also show other people how it's possible to receive abundance, but also to make the world a better place. So this activation is going to be under the theme of receiving abundance. So allowing yourself to receive all the goodness you'd like to attract in your life, removing all the blocks, removing their limiting beliefs. And we're going to correlate that because on May 7, 9 p.m. Eastern, because it's going to be so potent with the new moon in Taurus, with Venus on the new moon. And there's Uranus, Jupiter also in Taurus, still activating the conjunction. So it's going to activate so much more abundance in our lives. And we are going to be fully ready to receive all the goodness. So that's going to be next week, if I'm not... No, in 2 weeks. So a little less than 2 weeks. It's a Tuesday. Yes, I'm looking at my agenda. A Tuesday night. So, and of course, you can join live, but also the activation is going to be available forever in your profile if you want to, of course, join us. And we have a special 10% off discount code that's going to be abundance. And that's going to be for 4 days only. So the activation is $22. So, and that's USD because we deal with everybody from across the globe. So very accessible. But we are having a 10% off that amount with abundance until April 30th. So until the end of April, there's this 10% off code abundance. And if you have a question, you can also email us. We'd love for you to join us over there. Elena, can you talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing
during the activation?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. So we're going to be releasing anything that we need to release that it's blocking us, removing any fears, removing energy that they're not, they don't belong to us. That's the first thing we're going to be doing. And then after, we're going to be able to activate all our chakras to in order to receive, and been able to see how to balance everything to receive, if it's with health, with love, with money. So to find that balance in your life of abundance.
Beautiful. So we're gonna have astrology there. We're gonna have, of course, slides because I love slides, and we're gonna have the magical Elena with her really soothing voice guide us through a guided meditation with her singing bowls. So I'm guessing we're gonna activate again the sacral and the heart chakra. Did you have any, let's say, guidance from your guides yet about what chakras are gonna be activated?
We're actually gonna be working on almost all the chakras, I have to say. We really need to be balanced. I feel like the energy will be very positive at maybe at the beginning because we need to go deep. We're going to be releasing, but the energy, I feel like it's amazing. And I feel like a gathering that we're meeting all together and being able to create that abundance, being able to be there at the same time as well, as make it even stronger. So, and I'm looking at the green, that's also the energy of the abundance. When we're going to be there, bring everything that you have, your green
Yeah.
crystal. So I really feel like it's a gathering of this beautiful community of our crystal, our energy, and being able to create even more abundance together.
Wow, I love it. And I feel guided also to say that um, a lot of us have had vows of poverty in past lives, being, let's say, in religious positions, vows of chastity, either for spiritual, religious reasons, being an oracle, being, let's say, a priest, a monk, whatever. So, a lot of us, and especially we were talking about the South Node in Sag, a lot of people with Moon in Sag, South Node in Sag, planets in Sagittarius, Pluto. Well, Pluto's a generational thing, but uh, there's a lot of this energy that we need to clear from past lives also that can have some cords still affecting us in the way that we deal or not deal with resources and value.
And I feel like I suggest also, if you guys like register like in and take the 10% as well, take the time right now to think, what are your fears? Like, don't wait until that activation. Start to do the work and to work on yourself. Okay, what is it? And then you're going to be able to work even more deeply into your fears.
Yeah, I think that we should end on that. Maybe we can name a couple of blocks, so maybe it can bring some awareness. And if you feel like you'd like to work on some blocks, having your personal work that you feel guided to work on, then join us on May 7, and we will do let's say, we will work on everybody's intentions and blocks. So I feel like it's going to be that much more powerful because we're going to all put that together, and it's going to liberate us and open ourselves up. And thank you so much, Ronnie, for your support, spreading abundance forward. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ronnie. Yeah, and Tim is saying most of my past lives were either monks or warriors. Yes, that makes sense. And I think me too. I have like a common theme with you, Tim, them there. So yeah, so I think, well, we said vows of poverty, chastity from past lives. Also the limiting belief of associating money with corruption, with bad values, bad people. So that needs to go. So anything that I'm saying here that rings a bell, I think you can definitely have a note somewhere and we can work on it on May 7th on the activation.
And don't be shy to receive. It's okay to receive.
It's okay to receive, and that's what we're going to be working on. Receive, receive, allow yourself to receive. So, yeah, my first one that I had on my list on my notes is most common blocks, not feeling worthy of receiving. So,
Mhm.
either it's a conscious force or it's unconscious, and often the time I feel like it's unconscious. So not feeling worthy, feeling like you have to make an effort or be someone else or activate a certain facet of yourself in order to feel worthy also, which is kind of negating the fact that you are worthy of receiving abundance without ever doing anything. Also, another block is not seeing your self-worth,
Mhm.
self-value, and not seeing exactly the goodness of what you bring to the world, because it's an exchange. So what the energy you bring out to the world, you will receive it in some form. Uh, but a lot of people, I feel like, don't see the value of what they bring. And
Yeah.
you don't need to do a spiritual work to be aware of that. Sometimes, like, there's people that just have like a really bright energy, and when you're around them, like, you feel so uplifted, and that's something that you do, that those people do without even thinking about it, and that brings so much value into the world.
And also, like when, let's say, we are talking as well, let's say any mantra, any positive mantra that you want to say for abundance, and think about like, oh, if you're saying, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this because I don't have enough money. Well, that's
Mm.
something, when you're saying something like that, you're blocking yourself. So find other words like, okay, how can I, like, I want to do this, so how can I do this? It will be very exciting, like, find positive energy to have that energy and have that abundance.
That's a really good one. Like the way you manifest verbally,
Mhm.
that's a really, really good one. So I try to catch myself every time I'm saying something that is in the lack mentality, generally speaking, not just about money, but about love, about anything, about time. Oh, I don't have enough time to do this. I try to catch myself and rephrase, because it is so powerful.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. And yeah, Tim is saying words are magic spells, Elena. So true. Yes. Um, Another one would be this need to balance out your inner masculine and divine feminine energy. The giving and receiving balance is skewed in some way, and you need to rebalance that. You need to look at where you have energetic drains in your life, and you need to rebalance that. So, for a lot of us, I feel like it's often the case. I wrote here being overly giving and needing to learn how to receive to rebalance old karmic patterns.
Mhm.
And yeah, Pumpkin Spice Princess is saying, I think a lot of blockages are past life traumas.
Yeah.
So, yes, definitely, definitely. Another one that I see as a common block of abundance is not being fully aligned with your path and your decisions and what you'd like to manifest in your life. So, for example, if you have a business but you're not fully aligned with that business, or you have a job but you're not really aligned, your heart is not there, or you want to attract love into your life, but either it's not the right person for you or you don't love yourself enough. So there's something that is not aligned with the energy that you hold and the path that you are on. And I feel like that needs a lot of, let's say, internal work in order to see how aligned or unaligned you are wherever you'd like to go, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, Another one that I wrote here, needing to learn important karmic lessons and close out karmic loops. So that might be a reason why you feel like certain experiences and forms of abundance are blocked to you. It's oftentimes because, let's say, if we talk about money, for instance, like if you don't have money in your life, maybe there's an important karmic lesson that you need to learn here. Maybe you need to learn how to manage it, and because you haven't learned in past lifetimes to manage material resources, maybe there's an important karmic lesson, or you give too much to other people and now you need to rebalance that. So
Mhm.
oftentimes I feel like there's a good lesson there.
And not only for you, like whenever you are doing this for yourself, you're able to help others after. So that also.
Definitely. Definitely. I know I did that for myself, and that inspired a lot of people around me. Um, and last one I'm going to share, we talked about energetic drains a lot. So, your environment, maybe your relationships, the way that the give and take balance, the exchange is unbalanced. So, by energetic drains, I mean that you might, let's say, have a job and receive a salary, but somehow you are not, um, let's say, doing okay paying your bills, like you have no money left after you're paying your bills. But if you look at the amount, let's say, for instance, and I'm giving a random example, you're like, oh, I should be well off in my life, but I'm not. So there's something that's leaking somewhere, and it's not always money. Oftentimes it's other things than money. So oftentimes it's energy you give to relationships, energy you give to different sorts of distractions in your environment. Sometimes it's nutrition. So there are energetic drains that we need to look at. Do you resonate with that, Elena? Energetic drain. Do you have that in your life? Did you have to do some kind of work?
I do, and also like because of like having the kid as well, you forget about yourself being a parent as well. So being able to come back to you all the time, it is a hard work, but it is important to do it as well. So, and that's my big, I would say one of my problems. It's like I'm giving too much, so I need to balance that. So that's my goal for 2024, actually.
Yay! So we're all going to be working on that all
Yeah.
together. And me too. I'm going to be working on allowing myself to receive without any guilt of having to do something, because we are worthy of receiving,
Yeah.
being divine beings. So if you'd like to join us, that's going to be May 7th, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's the live, but it's going to be available for replay anytime, and it's going to be in your Maison Jupiter Academy account forever. So I think that's one. This is one activation that we wanted to do that will be timeless, but we decided to put it on the day of the new moon in Taurus because it is such a potent portal of energy to really be aware, be able to receive all the goodness and the blessings of that Taurus, and which is material blessings, pleasures of the earthly realm. And Venus is there too. So we felt like it was a really powerful portal to put this activation. So don't forget, abundance is your code for 10% off. And that's going to be for 4 days only, so until April 30th. That being said, just wanted to share really quickly. And Samantha is saying, I can't wait. Love you, ladies. Thank you so much. Samantha, we love you too. And so tonight we'll be having the beautiful Solreta with her galactic show. And she's going to be sharing about creatrix realities and escaping illusions. So that's going to be a fascinating show. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern on this channel. We're going to be simulcasting on YouTube and Rumble. So join us over there. And lastly, I said I was going to pull cards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's pull cards.
And by the way, also, we are doing it later than usually. We have been guided as well to do it like later.
Yeah, you mean
The time of the, I was going to say the time of the healing, the time of the activation that we're going to be doing.
but you know what? The new moon is exact on Tuesday at 11:22 p.m. Eastern, and we're doing the activation at 9 p.m. Eastern. So it's going to be almost at exactly the same time where the new moon is going to be exact. So I think it was like a divine timing as usual. Oh, thank you so much, Spider Silk. Thank you for reminding us the importance of learning about finances. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Yes, it doesn't sound very spiritual, but believe me, it is part of the spiritual experience. It's part of the energetic exchange that we need to learn. So, okay, let's pull cards about why were we guided to put up this activation about receiving abundance. Why is receiving abundance such an important topic right now? Whoa. Okay. Okay, I love that. So I have two cards that popped up. So the first one is the crumbling. So it's kind of a tower card that looks kind of the tower card in the tarot, which makes a lot of sense. And then we have the second card is leap. So listen. And, yeah, are you? Yeah. So the first card is, wow, I'm struggling so much with cards. This one, which I think is exactly what we shared earlier. It's the eclipse, it's Pluto moving in Aquarius, it's all the transformation, the destruction that happens into our lives. It was really an initiation, a tower moment for a lot of people. So, and as at the same time, we're witnessing the crumbling of the old world. So as we're doing that, we are, and I love the fact that there is like a slight opening into a very lush landscape, which reminds me of that Taurus energy, which is all about flowers, land, earth. So you can see like there's a slight opening. Everything that's falling apart creates an opening for living in a paradise, basically. And then we have the leap card. And it says, you go first, the universe will catch you. So it's all about taking new opportunities and flying and feeling a lot more light, because like this energy is so dense. It's part of the old world, but now we're getting ready to leap into a whole new frequency, a whole new energy. And part of this learning lesson is learning how to see the beauty and receive all the goodness that the universe has to offer. So let me know if that resonates. Does that resonate with you, Elena?
Yes, I love it. It's on point.
Very, very on point. So I think the universe is kind of telling us that there's a lot of beauty and a lot of good things that are coming. If you can see the opening in this tower moment, and we're getting ready to live in the new world. So we also need to be feeling worthy to receive all the goodness. So, oh yeah, I love that, Ronnie. We are spirits in the material world. So I guess it's a song, but let me know the title of the song. I'd like to know. Thank you, Ronnie. Well, thank you so much, Elena. That was a beautiful show. We had a lot of fun talking.
Thank you, Julie.
And we will continue talking about this during the activation and the introduction, of course. And join us if you feel guided to join us, of course. I think it will be a beautiful moment, very powerful moment to receive all the beautiful opportunities. And have a beautiful weekend, everybody. I'll see you at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Galactic Show with Soul. And
looking forward to see you on the activation. So that also I'm manifesting a positive energy with abundance to feel and see you there.
Yeah, so it's a good point. Like let's all start being in that energy of gratefulness, of beauty, of love,
Receiving.
of abundance, of receiving, in that receptive state. So let's all start right away to feel this energy, and then we'll see you on May 7th if you'd like to join us, of course. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Sending you much, much love, and bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.